Hello there, everyone. We are now finally here, as we're here with these nice little events that we got ourselves ready to go. Welcome, everyone, to Marble Clash Competition Season 3's Qualifiers. We are so excited to see how these seasons are going to go. Remember, top 6 from each group of these will advance on to the main tournament. As we see right here, we have our 2 groups of 14 teams that are going to be competing in Groups A and B. So we're going to find out see how this will start. As we're going to be here, we have our first event, which is a brand new event this season, which is climbing. Let's see how this will work. Here we have our example run done by the Pizza Parties and Team Moonlight, who are our side teams who are decided to sit out for this season. So the goal for this is just try to climb as high as possible. And the higher you go, the better result will be. As we see right here, these marbles who are going to be representing each team for their respective heats. So we're going to be starting off with our friendly round off first. Starting us off is Menma for the Ramen Bombshells and Airsoft for the Paintballers. And off they go. Who's going to get farther? Looks like that's going to be the Paintballers. Airsoft just beats out Menma in a straightaway length to win. Menma, the reserve for the Ramen Bombshells, wasn't able to get by, but it was pretty close there. And it looks like it's a 63.2 set by Airsoft. But let's see how the other two are going to do, which we have the Kelvin Cosmos with Icy and Dipper for the Whimsical Stars. I haven't mentioned this about it. The Whimsical Stars have changed their name, as they were previously called the Shining Stars. And let's see right here, there was a pretty close one, but it looks like Icy might have had the slight edge there over Dipper. We're going to need to check that replay again just to make sure. And it looks like, yeah, Kelvin Cosmos did get it, but it wasn't enough to beat the Paintballs, and it was! 66.1! That means the Kelvin Cosmos Icy takes the win in the first event of the friendly round. Airsoft will take second, Dipper comes in third, then goes Menma, the host, the Ramen Bombshells. So yeah, the Kelvin Cosmos will take the early lead for there. So now, we're going to get straight into Group A. Starting us off, we have Anchor for the Lightning Pirates and Stem for Gardening Squad. And we have ourselves quite a few reserves here deciding to compete in this event. Let's see how they do. Look at Gardening Squad. Look at them go. Nice straightaway win there over Anchor. That's a very nice result there. Let's see the replay. Anchor wasn't able to get by, wasn't able to get much more momentum than it was. 65.9 set by Stem, and they're going to be taking a good lead for now. It was a good big chunk of lead away from the Lightning Pirates right there. Alright, now we move on to Vote for the Green Beans and Granny from Mustard Army. Some of these teams, we have 2 green teams here. And off they go. Who's going to get the slight edge? And it looks like, I think that was the Green Beans who might have gotten the better result there. Let's check the replay. I believe they have gotten it. Yeah, that's a very good result there. Let's see what their total is. 64.9. That's not enough to beat Gardening Squad, but it's a good result for second place. Mustard Army will be right behind him in third. Alright, next up, Palm for the Brown Bonsais and Energy for the Solar Rays. Let's see how they will do, and off they go. Solar Rays had to get the early lead, but the Brown Bonsais beat them as they're climbing up. Brown Bonsais with a good nip to speed as they're going up. It looks like they were around the 63 meter range. And a 63.1 is only good enough for third, while the Solar Rays are going to be sitting in fifth. Now we move on to one of our newbie teams, the Soda Runners with Seltzer, facing off against Flair, the reserve member of the Frenzy Fireworks. And off they go. Who's going to get the better one here? And, ooh, it was really tight between those two. But it looks like Flair might have gotten the slight edge over Seltzer. We need to check the replay. It was very tight there. Okay, coming from this angle, it kind of wasn't, but it was still pretty close here. 63 flat from the Frenzy Fireworks. That's not going to be enough to put them in the top 3. As for Seltzer, they're going to be sitting in 6th. Alright, now we move on to Chemical for Team Acid and Lazuli for the Azure Alchemists. Let's see how they do. Off they go. Ooh, Azure Alchemist got a good, better start. Oh, but it was a really tight finish between those 2 marbles. We're going to need to check the replay again to see who barely got it. As we see right here. Yeah, it was really tight. I think Team hasn't gotten it. Yes, they just barely did. by 0.1 meter, Team Acid just barely beats out Lazuli. Man, that was a really tight finish there. But now, let's move on to Illusion for Prison Pathfinders and Wakame for the Seaweeds. Off they go. And looks like Prison Pathfinders take an easy stretch away victory there. Wakame there, I don't think they did have that much speed there as they were climbing up. Let's check it from the angle here. Let's see. Yeah, that's not that much right there, huh? That was a 52.5. They are sitting all the way down in 12th. 61.2 by Prison Pathfinders. They're only going to sit in 8th. And we're on to our last heat. Lucid for the reserve of Team Clear. Facing them against Shadow, the captain of the Shadow Assassins. Off they go. Shadow takes the early starts. And looks like Team Clear might have beaten them. But was that result good enough to take the lead, though? I didn't probably check from the bottom cam footage from the bottom right. Let's see right here. Oh, they both didn't actually reach 60. They're not going to be able to come close. 57.9 from Team Clear. They're only going to settle for 12. As for Shadow, they're going to take 13. So looks like STEM for Guardian Squad takes the win in the first event of Group A over the Green Beans and Team Acid. The top 3 matches became all green, and those 3 are going to be taking the top 3 early positions for the start of Group A. But now as we move on to Group B, right here, we have Tsunami for the Poseidons and Airbender for Elements of Nature. Off they go. And here comes, and it looks like Tsunami has taken the stretch away victory there. Very well done there by Tsunami. Tsunami was also known as the gold medalist in this 3rd season of Marble Invites. And they really pulled it off here. Look at that, 67.3. That's the best result we've seen right now. Tsunami, well done to them. That was a big result they have gotten. Nicely done. Alright, next up, Wig for the Pilot Patriots and Tulip for the Crimson Blades. Let's see right here. The Crimson Blades, a newbie team here, and it looks like they're going to take it over the Pilot Patriots. They just barely got it slightly. But was that enough to beat Poseidons? I don't think it was, really. Well, let's check the replay just to make sure, and yeah, they weren't close. Looks like 62.1 for Crimson Blades. They are not going to be, actually going to be in the top 2. They're only going to settle there for 3rd, while Pilot Patriots are going to be sitting in 4th. Alright, next up, Clove for Clover Clash, and Quartz for the Rainbow Riders. 2 pretty kind of lucky teams here. Everybody's standing for luck standards, and it looks like Clover Clash got more lucky here, as they're going to be taking the best one for out of these 2. Clover, the captain, taking a good result there. Let's check that replay. Yeah, very nicely there. Was that close? 62.6. That is only good enough for 3rd place. However, for the Rainbow Riders, 52.8. That's not a great result. They are going to be sitting in 6th, which is dead last for now. Alright, next up, Clam for the Seashell Sicers and Tenadera from the Malachite Mantises. Clam has actually fully recovered, and they're going to be back to competing, but they're not going to be able to beat Tenadera in this one. Yeah, sadly not going to be happening that time. But they're just slightly bit underperforming just after their absence throughout the past season, or the rest of season 2. Anyways, Tenadera, 64.9. They're going to be sitting in 2nd place. Alright, now we move on to Coco for the Chocolate Bananas and Dens for the Plastic Viewers. Who's going to get a good one here? Plastic Viewers really need to get themselves worked up here, and it looks like they're going to do it! Plastic Viewers beat the Chocolate Bananas. Pretty nicely done by them. Let's see the replay and see how they did. Ooh, pretty good result there. Just barely passing 63.6. Plastic Viewers jump into the top 3. As for Chocolate Bananas, they're going to be sitting in 9th. Alright, next up, Snowy for the Icicles and Species for the Aliens. Let's see how they are going to be doing here. Off they go. And it looks like, and it appears that Snowy has gotten the slight edge there, or for the Icicles, over Species for the Aliens. Just listening to the replay. Ooh, that's actually a pretty good result there. Just trying to reach 65, 64.8. That will be a new one to be put in 3rd place, while Species for Aliens, they're going to be sitting all the way down in 10th. Alright, now our last 2. Skylar for Skyrocket and Boodle for Old School Gang. Let's see how they do, and off they go. And it looks like Skylar has taken the better result here. Boodle wasn't able to get by, but let's see how the Skyrockets did. That seemed like a good competition there to try to beat the Poseidons. Let's see here. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute! They might have actually beat the Poseidons! Yes, they did! Skylar for the Skyrockets take the win in this event for Group B. Amazing job there by Skylar over the Tsunami for the Poseidons. Shouldn't have expected from the Skyrockets, who had a terrible result last season. They are starting to pull it off here. Very nicely done by them. They are taking the early lead for now. Now we move on to our second event here, which is a classic, the Funnel Endurance. Let's see how these marbles are going to be handling the funnels, as we're going to see how they will do. As we're taking a look at example run to see how this course works this time around for this season. As we see right here, we have three big funnels here, and about like 6 orange Hubalina funnels. And basically all 14 members of each all 14 marbles of one representative for each team will just go at the same time, and the goal for this is just to try to be the last one standing. That's basically the whole thing for this event, so this might be possibly a quick one, depending how long the times are going for. Well, we're going to see how these are going to do. As these example runs being taken out of the way, we're going to get started with the friendly round up first. We have Soba, Skirmish, Frigid, and Lyra. Let's see how they will do how they will endure on the funnels, and off they go. Going around the first funnel here, it's pretty tight to tell who's going to be taking the early lead for now. And it looks like that is the Paintballers with their reserve member Skirmish, who fell into their first, followed by Frigid for the Kelvin Cosmos and Lyra for the Whimsical Stars. Looks like Soba up on top, who are currently holding the lead, as they're currently having a tight battle there with Frigid. Skirmish still having bits of trouble on the bottom, and it looks like they're going to be the first ones to the Hubalina funnels. They're close to being followed by Lyra. It's still quite tight here. Ooh, Soba falls on through, which means Frigid has now taken the lead for the Kelvin Cosmos. We'll see what happens if any changes happen in these last few funnels. As we're looking at the Paintballers, Skirmish is at the bottom of the funnel, but anything can change. But look at that, Soba falls through first, then there goes Lyra. So it looks like Skirmish will happily take second place, which means that it's going to be another win by the Kelvin Cosmos. Very nicely done there by Frigid. Very well done to them. The lead has managed to change up after that third big funnel, after Soba had a bit of a struggle there, and they somehow managed to finish last. Pretty surprising there. Looks like Soba wasn't able to do well in the funnels after Ramen, the captain, didn't do provisionally great in the second season. So yeah, Frigid takes that win, and we'll get 5 points, followed by Skirmish, then it's Lyra and Soba. So it looks like everyone got themselves the same positions as the first event. So that means Kelvin Cosmos are now on 10 points. Then it's Paintballs with 6, Whimsical Stars with 4, and Ramen Bombshells with 2. And now we're going to move on to Group A here, as we have our members representing. And let's see how they are going to do. And off they go. Lawnmower was in the first funnel. Who's going to be taking the lead early? And it looks like it's pretty tight here, but I think there are a few marbles currently going down in the second funnel. Looks like it might be either Prison Pathfinders or Azure Alchemists. No, looks like it's going to be Azure Alchemists. Yep, there they go. They are going to be holding the lead for now. Who's currently falling in the bottom? Looks like, oh, it's the Soda Runners. One of the newbie teams having a bit of struggle in the bottom. Looks like about top there is pretty tight closely. It looks like, I think that's Team Acid who has that lead up top. Who's holding the bottom now? It looks like it's Guarding Squad. And it looks like, yeah, they're going to fall through first. Looks like they're going to be the first ones out. Then goes the Seaweeds. There's a really tight bunch going on here at the bottom of the funnel. And it looks like, it's still Team Acid who's still holding that provisional lead. So far, only 5 more left to go. Who's going to fall through next? Team Clear goes next. Then goes Prison Pathfinders. And the Shadow Assassins falling through. It's between Team Acid and Frenzy Fires, but Frenzy Fires are not going to be able to hold on. Which means Team Acid will take the win in the second event of Group A. Very well done there by Team Acid. Azure Alchemist had the brief lead at the start, but kind of seemed to struggle a bit after coming down in the second funnel. It was a pretty tight pack here, but it still became a pretty decent battle nonetheless. You see right there, Guardian Squad was the first one to follow through, who were the winners of that first event, but wasn't able to do well here. They're going to get 0 points. But well done there by Hydra, winning over Firework and then Dark for the Shadow Assassins. Alchemy and Team Clear will round out the top 5. And it looks like Team Acid now takes the early lead by 9 points over the Frenzy Fireworks, followed by the Green Beans and then Guardian Squad. Now we move on to our second group, which is Group B here. Let's see how they can do in this one. Let's see what changes make up this time. Off they go. As they're all now around the first funnel. Who's going to fall for first? I think that was... Oh, that's the Poseidons this time. This time they're not sending their member Neptune. They decided to send him Wave, I assume. Who's in the lead up top? It's really tight there. And it looks like that's Old School Gang who holds the lead for now. Old School Gang keeps the nice provisional lead, as they're currently having a battle with Clover Clash. It's still pretty close here. Ooh, some changes might have changed up on the top. I think that's the aliens who have the slight lead. Who's currently at the bottom now? Oh, it looks like the Chocolate Bananas are at the bottom, and they're gonna fall through first. Not going great here for Chocolate Bananas. Then there goes, I think that was Icicles. And there goes a lot of other marbles falling through as well. Really holding the lead up top, mate. That's the aliens who are holding the lead over Old School Gang. It was really close to it. Oh, aliens! They've fallen through quickly! Then goes Cicho Sightseers. Oh, no! School Gang falls into the funnel very too quickly. And that changes up to the win going to Sham for Clover Clash. Very well done there by Sham. Taking the win over Street for Old School Gang. That mess up from the aliens really struggled there, as they just fell all the way down to 4th, just losing out over the Seashell Sightseers, who just barely took 3rd. And see right there, Street just falling straight in there, and just lost the lead, and just lost their win over Sham for Clover Clash, who just barely take it, and they will get the 20 points in this event. And let's see how this changes up. Skyrocket still hold the lead by 1 point over Clover Clash. Poseidons, Plastic Viewers, Old School Gang, and Malachi Mantis currently round out the top 6. Alright, now we move on to our third event, which is a returning event from Season 1. That's right, we are back here with Team Pursuit. Man, glad to see this event back here this time. And this is also our very first event taking place outside. So let's see how this works, because the reason why this place is taken outside, because this track is very long. This is one of the longest tracks we have so far. So the goal for this is pretty similar. The goal for this is try to get all 4 of your members to finish as quickly as possible. And points are a bit dependent by when they finish. And they'll be added up to the total, and that's how the results will be made. And because some of these teams are going to be pretty uneven, we have ourselves 2 special season teams that are going to be filling up the spots. Please welcome the Marinated Eggs and the Burning Spices, who are going to be helping us out with this event. So, they will not be part of this friendly round, which we have the Ramen Bombshells, Paintballs, Calvin Cosmos, Whimsical Stars. Let's see how they do. And off they go. And it looks like Whimsical Stars have 2 members leading. Not again, look at that, have 3 members leading so far. They're going pretty well here. Here goes the Ramen Bombshells member trying to get around first place, but is not going to be able to. As we look at the rest of the marbles just taking their time finishing. And it looks like there's everyone that finished the course. Oh, we got 2 DNFs there. It looks like there's a Ramen Bombshell. And looks like another DNF. I think that was that's the second Ramen Bombshells. Ramen Bombshells get 2 DNFs. And it was pretty tough to tell from the paintballs from a very high view. Looks like I gained the official saying that was a... Oh, wait! All 3 DNFs from the paintballers! Ooh, not a great result there. Let's look at that. Aries for the for the Whimsical Stars. Take it. And they're going to be the ones to take the win with 55 points over the Calvin Cosmos. Very easy win there for the Whimsical Stars. That's going to push them up to second place. Kelvin Cosmos still keep the lead. Looks like they might have themselves a guarantee to win it all, but it depends on what happens in this one. So anyway, starting us off for Group A, Team Acid, Prison Pathfinders and Soda Runners, and the season team Burning Spices. They will take over the spots of the positions they finished in. So currently right now, Prison Pathfinders have a member leading so far, and they're stretching it. A Burning Spice member right behind is second, and there's a close race to third. It was a really tight race there. But anything can change up until that point. And that's the members finishing. It looks like a Burning Spice member has gone stuck. And it looks like a Team Acid member gets stuck at the very start. Now we're going to need to check the replay. Looks like one of them just got straggled there. Just got pushed into the wall too hard. And just let themselves stranded. Looks like Fiery and Boric were the only two that DNF'd here. So let's see how the scores tally up. And it looks like Prison Pathfinders get a total of 47. And they're going to take the early lead, followed by the Soda Runners in second. Alright, move on to our second heat. Lightning Pirates, Frenzy Fireworks, Brown Bonsais, and Solar Rays now. Let's see how they can do in this one. Let's see. Off they go. And it looks like Lightning Pirates have now transferred to a Brown Bonsais member. Now two Lightning Pirates have taken the lead. It's really close here. Oh, they lost it now. Solar Rays here. Oh, but they lost it out, and the Lightning Pirates member will get the full 16 points. Just barely over that Solar Rays member. But I assume that I just got a glimpse of view that the Solar Rays had 3 in the top 5, which is a good result to have. Oh, but they have 1 DNF there. That is not looking. That might hurt them a bit. Just kind of depends on how well they did with those top 5 finishes there. Very nicely done there by the Solar Rays. Well done by Photon, Energy, and Radiant. Rain for the Lightning Pirates get the 16 points. But one of the members DNFing, one taking 4 points. That's going to push them down to 5th, and Solar Rays are now moving up to 2nd. And I couldn't change anything else, but that's still not a bad result there by Solar Rays. Alright, now we move on to Heat 3. Guardian Squad, Shadow Assassins, Azure Alchemists, and the Green Beans now. Off they go. And it looks like Guardian Squad have a member leading. And some big pileups happening here. But Guardian Squad still have a member leading. Green Beans have a member in 2nd place. And Guardian Squad will get full 16 points. They're a tie race for 2nd, but I think Green Beans might have gotten the slight edge. And that's when everyone else finishes. Let's check we have any DNFs in the back. There's 1 Guardian Squad member. Anyone else? I mean, there's a Shadow Assassin member. They have 2 DNFs. 2 from the Shadow Assassins. That's really going to hurt them there. Guardian Squad, one of the members pulling it away. Oh, 2 of the Azure Alchemists got stuck in that hexagon. And just fell back a couple spots. I think that was either Cobalt and Lazuli, I assume? But it was tough to tell. But it looks like Seed gets the win over String. But Azure Alchemists actually beat all of them with a good amount of consistency with the results. And they're only going to be able to sit in 3rd place for now. Alright, now move on to Mustard Army, Team Clear, Seaweeds, and the other season team, Marinated Eggs, who is filling up the empty spot. Off they go. With 2 Marinated Eggs, having 2 members leading for a moment. But look at Team Clear with 3 members in the top 3. Our Marinated Eggs trying to catch up to them. But look at Team Clear, 3 members in the top 3. Well done there by Team Clear there. That's going to be a big result there to beat the Prison Pathfinders, who are in 1st place. Looks like a Marinated Eggs member DNFs. Then there's a Seaweeds member. Oh, there's another one there. So it looks like there's gonna be 3 DNFs. One of those members who was non-competing, and 2 of them just DNFing. And it looks like that was both Algae and Kelp, who will both get the 0 points here. Well, look at Team Clear with those top 3 finishes, and 1 member sitting in 8th, and that's gonna easily put them in the 1st place position. Congratulations to Team Clear, and they're going to be taking the win in event number 3 for Group A. Prison Pathfinders take 2nd, Solar Rays will take 3rd over Azure Alchemist and Guardian Squad, rounding out the top 5. Let's see how this results in the overall standings. Prison Pathfinders just barely take the lead back, away from Team Acid over Team Clear and Azure Alchemists. It's really tight here for Group A, but it's going to be tough to see who's going to make it in. Now we move on to Malachite Manases, Chocolate Bananas, Icicles, and the Crimson Blades. Off they go. And it looks like Chocolate Bananas have a member leading. Malachite Manases right behind in 2nd. Crimson Blades, they're trying to get a members into the top positions. And it's pretty tight here. Malachi managed to get a 16-point result, followed by a Crimson Blades member. As everyone else just takes their time, because the last Chocolate Bananas member taking it very slowly to the finish line. Didn't have that much speed coming out of it. Well, we have 3 marbles in that area that got DNFs here. Any more at the back? Oh, we got 2 more. Looks like we got a total of 5 DNFs, to be exact. It's a pretty big number to have here. Seeing 5 DNFs in one heat. Crazy. Looks like Tulip, Snowy, Praying, Peel, and Chili have all gone to DNF here. Let's see how this result stands for the rest of the teams. The Crimson Blaze will get the best result here. They will take the lead over the Malachi Menaces. On to the next heat. Plastic Viewers, Elements of Nature, Skyrockets, and the non-competing team Marinated Eggs. Let's see how they are going to do in this one. Off they go. Skyrockets, they have 2 members in the top 3. Now 3 in the top 3. They're trying to replicate Team... What happened to Team Clear? Are they going to be able to replicate it? Oh, looks like they might be able to. Skyrockets, they're going to just barely hold on and get 3 of the members in the top 3. Impressive result by the Skyrockets. Let's see what happens here. 3 DNFs from Marinated Eggs. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I might accidentally said 2, but never mind. There was actually 3. And it looks like that's an Elements of Nature member getting stuck. But impressive run there by the Skyrockets. Managed to do a pretty impressive result as of now. 16, 15, and 14 by Skyla, Sky, and Sky, who took those top 3 positions. And looks like they're going to be taking an easy P1 with 53 points over the Plastic Viewers. This is going to be a very tough result to beat. Is anyone going to be able to take a chance to try to crack those top positions? Let's see how this one does. We have Poseidon's Old School Gang, Clover Clash, and Pilot Patriots. And off they go. Pilot Patriots have a member leading. They're starting to stretch it out now, but it's going to be really tight. Oh, wait! Oh, and a board has been alerted. Apparently, a hole on the course has opened up. Has broken down, just opened a hole for it. Some members fell in. Luckily, they're all okay, though, as they just briefly got them all out for some reason. But ignoring that, it looks like 2 members of Clover Clash in the lead, but they're losing out to a member of Old School Gang, and even a 2nd place. Some close, tight finishes there. Here comes a Poseidon's member, just slowly finishing the course. They just crawled on by. And it looks like... Oh, that was 4 members in the same spots. Any more? And it looks like that's a Poseidon's member there. They will get that DNF. That was a bunch of DNFs there. Really a lot of them to comprehend. You see right there, remember Old School Gang gets 16 points. Oh, we actually have another DNF coming from Lee from Clover Clash, apparently. Man, we got 6 DNFs. This must be a record so far. It looks like neither of them are not going to be able to take the top 4. Pilot Patriots only get the best result for 5th. Move on to our last heat for Group B. Seashell Sightseers, Aliens, Rainbow Riders, and the Burning Spices. Let's see how they do. Off they go. And it's Burning Spices. Rainbow Riders, they now have 2 members in the top positions. Can they be... Oh, no, that's not Rainbow Riders. Yeah, I think that might be Rainbow. I just have to tell from these uniforms a bit. Oh, I think that I could replicate see that. I believe that was a Seashell Sightseers member that took the top position. You see right here. Oh, we got 3 DNFs in the same spot. And there's another Seashell Sightseers member. And it looks like another member of the Aliens. Yeah, I kind of got a bit mixed up with the Seashell Sightseers and the Rainbow Riders for a bit. Well, I believe that was the marble in the front position. That was a member of the Seashell Sightseers that will take the top position. 16 points by Conch. Look at that. Burning Spices, they were the only ones to have all 4 members of them, 4 of the members finishing. And it looks like they get the best result. Yeah, they did. Doesn't really matter for them because they're not competing. Rainbow Riders will have to settle in for 6th place. And it looks like the Skyrockets are going to take another win. That's 2 wins in 3 of the events over the Crimson Blades and the Plastic Viewers. And the overall standing Skyrockets, they are guaranteed to make it into the main tournament for the first time. Congratulations to the Skyrockets. And they're going to be making it into the main tournament. Congratulations to them. And now we're going to move on to our last event as we're going back inside, as we're going to be starting with Distance Drag. And I think the example run is a lot bit different from the usual one. But this time we're going on a different carpet this time. So far, every carpet has been different every season so far. for this one is has a bit more friction than the other ones. As we see right here, it looks like all of our example run teams have decided to have a go. This time we're going to have 7 members from each of the groups that are going to be having a go. But starting us off is our friendly round here. We have Noodles, Die, Freeze, and Orion. Let's see how they do. Off they go. It looks like who is going to be starting off first? It might be Noodles, I assume. And yes, it will be. It looks like Freeze follows behind him in second. There goes the Whimsical Stars and waiting for the Paintballers. They're just taking their time there. Here comes Die, and they bump into the Whimsical Stars as they bump into the Kelvin Cosmos, and it looks like Paintballers just barely get by for second place. Looks like Kelvin Cosmos will have to settle for third, then the Whimsical Stars will take fourth. And it looks like Noodles pulls ahead of the other 3 to take the win in the last event, but their poor results from the first 3 events is not going to be able to do it for them. 87.6 by Noodles for the Ramen Bombshells. And let's see how our final results stand for the friendly round. And the winners are the Kelvin Cosmos. They win over the Whimsical Stars and the Paintballers. 5 points ahead of them. Well done to them. They will take the win in the friendly round. Congratulations to them. Our host didn't do exactly great in this one, but we'll see how the rest of the other teams are going to be doing, as we're going to be finding out. Starting with Group A's first heat. We have Citrix, Solar, Pirates, Shade, Mustard, String, and the Seaweeds. And off they go. As they're all around the first funnel. And it looks like Mustard Army goes first. There comes Lightning Pirates. They pass by them. Here comes Green Beans. Oh, it's pretty tight. Solar Rays get by. Here comes Seaweeds and it's really close here, but Lightning Pirates get the best result here. Anything can really change around here. But well done there by the Lightning Pirates. Just barely getting by the Solar Rays, who are trying to hold that lead up top. And here comes the rest of them are just taking their time, ravaging down the course. Looks like Team Acid takes last in that group. And it looks like Pirate gets an 80.8 over Solar Rays. Well, let's see how the other members will do. Next up, we have Soil, CCM, Transparent, Fizzy, Birch, Geometry, and Sparkler. And let's see what changes in this one. And off they go. Who's going to be starting us off first? And it looks like it was really tight there between Priest of Pathfinders and the Azure Alchemist. And it looks like everyone's just slowly coming by. And it looks like I think Azure Alchemist might have the slight edge. Yes, they will. Over the Brown Bonsais, who will take second, followed by the Frenzy Fireworks. That was CCM representing for Azure Alchemist there. Let's see, Brown Bonsais were really close there, trying to get around Azure Alchemist, but wasn't able to. So was Sparkler, but wasn't able to get enough speed. They were right on their tail. And let's see right here. 84.9! Azure Alchemist actually take the win! Birch comes in second. Sparkler takes third place. And that's going to be a full 20 points for Azure Alchemist. I believe that might be enough points for them to qualify. But let's see what changes here, as we're going to be looking at Group B until we find out what our final results are. Space, who will be taking early ahead of the others here. Let's see how they do. Off they go. And it looks like Space might have this slight lead there. And no, it actually goes to the Plastic Viewers, because he's just like the Pilot Patriots. Besides, they pull ahead now. Space, and here comes the Skyrockets, and it looks like, well, this was a complete train of marbles there, but it looks like Poseidons are going to take the win in this one, this time with their Captain Neptune. Deciding to change things up by their manager, but they did pretty well here. Very nicely done by the Poseidons. Just looking at from Icicles, who are not going to be able to do well here, just falling behind the back of that train. 81.9 by Neptune over Polly for the Plastic Viewers, then Scallop and Liberty. We're going to move on to our last heat for our Group B out for the qualifiers. Opal for Rainbow Riders are going to be taking the early lead for this one. Off they go. Who's going to be starting off first? And it looks like it might be... it's the Chocolate Bananas, followed by Clover Clash. And here comes more trains and marbles coming by. Malcolm Man's go up top with a lot of contacts happening. But it looks like Chocolate Bananas are going to be able to take the win. Malachi Manses are going to take second, and Straggler Mars falling a bit behind there. That might hurt them a bit as well. Chocolate Bananas taking a good result, followed by the Malachite Mantises. Here comes Old School Game clashing into the aliens. And let's see how this result stands. And it looks like things might change a lot. And it looks like second place will go to Chocolate Bananas. They just barely missed first place over the Poseidons. Neptune takes the win in the final event for Group B. And with that, that will mark the end of the qualifiers. As we're now going to be finding out what the 6 teams for each group are going to be in. And here they are. Congratulations to our top 6 teams from each group. They are guaranteed to make it into Season 3 of Marble Clash competition. A lot of these teams, we have some new faces as well. A lot of things are going to be changing. This is going to be a pretty exciting season to see, as we're going to be finding out to see what will happen. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for the opening ceremony coming soon. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.